On the starting line, we have in position 1 Bill. Racers, let's have a good clean race. Good luck everyone.
Bill scores the fastest lap of 6.217 seconds. Nice lap, Bill, way to go. This race is really beaten up. Our racers are running up the track.
At the top of the pack, Bill. Again, Bill takes the fastest lap of 5.914 seconds. He is really kicking it today.
And Bill takes the fast lap one more time of 5.692 seconds. This is an exciting race, folks. Currently leading the race is Bill.
Bill scores the fastest lap again of 5.245 seconds. It looks like this driver only has two speeds, fast and faster. What a lap! Let's see if any of the drivers here today can top that. Attention, we are at the halfway mark. Racers, 2 minutes 30 seconds left in the race.
Bill's fuel is running low. Racers, 2 minutes are left in this race.
2 minutes to go. Look at them go. What a great display of racing skills here today. Running in first place, Bill.
Bill has entered the pits. Racers, there are 1 minute 30 seconds left in the race. You have 1 minute 30 seconds left.
Bill is back on the track. One minute left in the race. You have 1 minute.
Holy cow! These drivers are really going at it. Running in first place, Bill. 15 seconds left in the race.
15 seconds left. The race is over. Good racing, racers.
What a great display of racing skill we have witnessed tonight. In first place, and the only racer to finish the race, Bill.
All right, let's see. All right, can you guys hear me? Hey, Dave. I don't know how to add everything on here. Awesome. So that I've got those SlotInvasion Carrera guides that I put in, and yeah, that downward slope, that S curve that's got the camber change is a mess. Going down there, I'm pretty sure I flipped that thing about every 3 laps, maybe even 2. You guys probably got a better count than I did. So anyhow, cool to see you guys. We'll figure out what I'm gonna drive next. I do not have all of the fancy cars like most folks. I've been working just on the scenery pretty much. But I'm gonna try. I don't know if I got that slot in there or that guide in there very good on this one. All right, well, let's see. And this is using that Fast Laps application. All right, so we'll go there, close, and then clear the race. Change the car, 25. All right, and we'll just do 5 minutes here. All right. There's so many windows. All right. Let's see what we got. I think. So on Fast Laps, there's an option called Quick Actions where you can just hit the space bar to start the app. And I don't know if you can see over here very well, but there's a basically a facade of a building here, and on the back are some buttons. And so I programmed those buttons to, well, several of them to act like a space bar. So hopefully that'll work here. We'll see. Nope. Maybe I didn't do something right. Fine, kiss my ass. We'll just race.
The following racers should be on the track and ready to race.
In position 1, Bill. Racers, good luck and good racing.
Oh. Pro tip: it's good to code your car first. Please hold. All right, try that again.
The race director has stopped the race.
These racers should be on the track and ready to go. In position 1 Bill. Racers, get ready. Good luck to everyone.
Yeah, that's one. That's two. Right, that's one.
Fast lap set by Bill in 5.66 seconds.
Oh, I like this car.
Bill scores the fastest lap again of 5.453 seconds. Good driving, racers. Out of
Oh boy. Jesus.
Our racers are burning up the track. Currently leading the race is Bill.
Bill has pulled into the pits. Bill Racing 2 minutes 30 seconds left in this race. We are halfway through.
And once again Bill sets a new fast lap of 5.357 seconds. Bill sets a new fast lap once again at 5.357 seconds.
Fast lap racers. There are 2 minutes left in the race.
What a fine start.
Wow.
There are 1 minute 30 seconds remaining.
You have 1 minute 30 seconds left. You have 1 minute left.
These guys are going down some serious rough numbers here today.
have 15 seconds to go.
Fast lap set once again by Bill at 5.3. The race is over.
What a great display of racing skills today. Good job, racers. And what a race. Here's the final results. In first place, and the only racer to finish the race, Bill.
All right, let's see. Where's the... Yeah, magnets. I guess I don't need to type all this in, but I have magnets on some. I mostly have magnets on my cars. I don't drive them very often. So I'm not very good, as you have seen, going down the S-curve. Down that hill, it's just, I mean, I really should do a how-to on how to wear all the paint off the top of the car, because they pretty much slide off. But the benefit, I would say there, thanks Dave, the benefit that I think you can, well, I don't know how many of you guys have really seen me race before this, but when the car comes down that S-curve, before I put in those guardrails from, from Boone, it was just a shit show. And you would end up having, sorry, I shouldn't use that word, I guess, on here. As a result, when I crash, it's controlled chaos. So, it just kind of makes its way down the lane, kind of like if you're bowling with bumpers. So, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, that turn is a really, really, it's hard because, and I'll see if I can, let me close out the camera app for a minute, for the camera switcher. So on this camera here, right as you're going around the corner, you see those lights. I don't think you can see my cursor on here, but the lights, or the lampposts going over that overpass, that area right there is where you get that camber change. And so that's fine. But yeah, this SlotInvasion guide is great, but I can also tell you that I literally can pull dirt, or I don't even know, maybe it's paint, I don't know what it is, off of it. Yeah. A Magnet Marshall 100%. The thing is it's this hobby, I've been in it now for about 3 years, I think, 2.5, 3 years. And, you start with the track, and then you get all these different things. The 3D printer, the laser cutter, airbrush, the mini airbrush, paint shack, whatever the heck you call it, or paint enclosure. That whole thing, all that stuff. It is amazing how much all that adds up to. So Magnet Marshall is probably there next. I got a whole boatload of scratch build tools this last week. The first, and I had shown the guys on Boone's group this atrocity that I've built. Let me see if I can get a bigger screen here. Please hold. All right. There we go. There we are. All right, so how's that for solder, guys? What do you think? You think that's good? I'm gonna say probably not. This is gonna be something I'm gonna have to learn, is how to get the solder out once it's failed, because essentially there were multiple failed bonds to this. This is my first build. It'll get better. Well, this one's actually probably gonna get melted down, and basically it's one of those things that I haven't 100% decided if I'm going to keep doing brass, or I've seen a couple of people talking about using steel. solder wick. Yeah, someone was telling me this week that was a good thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what this part's from. Okay. So, but I see all of these, the 3D printed chassis too, and I'm kind of like, well, am I getting too off hand, or am I getting distracted in what I'm doing over here? And so, but there are so many different things you can do that it's fun to have some different stuff there. Let's see, grinding is fine. Yeah, that's certainly. I've been filing mostly, but yeah, I really just need to wick it out of there. And yeah, Dan, I haven't tried that. Oh wait, so that you got a new printer itself. That is, how many printers do you have there, Dan? I feel like isn't it like 4 or 5, or is that Dave? Anyway, I hope I'm keeping up on the chat and not getting too. Okay, cool. Yeah, the lag isn't too bad. It looks like. I got a model on 3D, or sorry, I'm on Cults 3D. Speaking of 3D printing, and it's the General Lee or whatever, the body, and this thing came out off of the resin printer. The supports and everything came off so nice and easy. It was only when I got to this one, or when I got to printing this body, that I kind of saw the validity. Stick with plastic chassis. Yeah. Where I kind of saw the validity of my 3D printer, because I've made a few things on it with the resin printer, and I'm happy with the people. Like you go in here, all these guys are off of the 3D printer. So there's been that value that's been brought to the table, but at the same time, I really have wanted to do some more with the bodies. So that's kind of where it's not where I'm headed for everything, but it is definitely kind of an added focus. So Dave, we got to talk sometime about chassis. I feel like there should be some better way to do these chassis. I don't know. I would love to be able, and I think this is what everybody thinks about right now, or at least a lot of 3D printer people do. And sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm just not used to doing this. But you've got these. Where was I going with this? Oh shit, I don't remember. Anyway, oh yeah. So in terms of this, I would love to be able to have a chassis that was pretty close, where I could just pop this into a chassis and be done with it. It doesn't need to be perfect. I don't need this thing going off to, one of George or Harry's, showdowns where I'm clearly not, where it's not gonna look perfect. But going on my track, why not? I mean, what's cooler than printing out 2 copies of your General Lee's? So you have one in pink. Now, I'm not saying I'm putting one in pink. Shut up, Joe. I'm not doing that, okay? But I'm just kidding, Joe. But the idea of having this and being able to pop these down onto a chassis that is relatively, interchangeable, that'd be the holy grail for me. So that's that's what I'm working on. Otherwise, let's see. I did find that last car to be pretty. Joe, anyone that ever sees me talk shit to Joe or about Joe usually on his streams, I never mean a bit of it. Joe's one of my favorite people in the world. Clearwater, yeah, 1/32 is my scale of choice. I kind of have to build for it, and maybe at some point I might move up to 1/24, but that would probably be on a wood track or something like that. At some point here, I will go over top here. Thanks, Joe. OBS gets weird and it makes this kind of drippy effect on video streams. Sometimes you see that at the bottom. I have not figured out what that is yet, but I'm going to walk over to the table for a minute, and my dog is complaining. I'm going to walk over to the table for a minute, and I'm going to show you guys where the seam is on this table. So at some point, pretty soon, relatively soon, I'm going to be disabling or taking this apart and moving it to a much bigger shop that's about 750 square feet. So that's great. And let me show you where the seam is in general. So you've got right along here, going all the way across to the other side of the table. And as you see here, you've got the straight stretch or the straight track here. I've got the straight track here. Every side is a straight track, or every lane is straight. So it'll make it easy for me to expand that out. And that was one of the first things that I did. In terms of like when I was putting it together, I knew that I was going to be expanding it at some point. What's interesting, yeah, Dave, seriously, some type of universal chassis. I mean, so I've got, here, let me get back to this. I got the attention span of a squirrel here. So the chassis here, this is an HRS2 chassis. And it's all right, I guess. I mean, you can adjust the front and back axle and all that. But yeah, thank you, Clearwater. It's a hard kind of little spot. Most of that track is not that hard. If I'm being honest, but that downhill, you can't get too snobby about it or too brave, because I think you guys saw every time I raced, it pretty much taught me a lesson, or every time I started getting a little sloppy. What I don't like about this is, it doesn't have a mount. It has this little hole in the back there, right? And then you want to do the cups. But why the hell can't we do it like Carrera, where you unscrew it from the bottom and there are posts? I feel like it should be possible. Realistically, what I need to do is I need to learn how to do the 3D modeling, like the I don't know if that's in the cards yet, but I'm feeling almost like I have to at this point. Although in the style of true butchery, so this is the model that I printed, and because yeah, Dave, I mean, the mounting posts are just so much better. Yeah, and I know I can 3D print the body posts. I just feel like if it was just bonded in there, I could just spot it in place. Yeah, see, and but that goes back to kind of what I'm saying, I guess, Clearwater, is I'm a butcher when it comes to 3D printing. And I think anybody that's seen my work can attest to that, and I'm good at covering it up and cleaning it up. But like this model here, you can see there on the bumper, that's the normal view. When you put on the HRS2 chassis, so I printed this out, and I don't need every one to be perfect. These, some of these are waste prints basically, but you can see there I figured out essentially where the guide needs to cut. And I don't care about all the extra weight. I could be driving a truck, I don't even care. But Clearwater, seriously, it's not hard to print a body. I'm telling you, these things were easy, so easy to do. And I mean, my printer's a year old, so it's not like you have to even be fully up to date to print a decent a decent body. I'm not. This is not. I would not say 3A 3D quality. There's probably some additional finishing in there. Certainly, I love the bot. I'm not going to say I love their bodies. I love the bodies that they're selling. But it is definitely it's a question of skill, or experience. I think I'm just not very experienced with it. Oh, anyway, Dave, look at that. That is the extent of my butchery. I did that in Mesh Mixer, and let's see. I have some 3D chassis for. Yeah, if you have something that let's see, kit comes with side pods. Glue into the bottom sides. I know it has those little cups or whatever, but those things, man, I mean, I feel like after I stretch if I wanted to just swap those bodies out, I feel like they would just break in no time at all. But maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I'd be interested. Let me know, Dan. Let's see, where was I? There's some other cool stuff out there in regards to 3D printing too. I was telling Boone and Steve and Dan and some of the guys on the Patreon, Boone's Patreon, that you know how you can make those. Well, Joe knows real well the action figures on ChatGPT. Those action figures, or the little characters, it looks like there's a way to convert those to STL files, and let's see, yeah, I understand that's my design my out chassis, yeah, and that's the thing, Dave, I need to kind of learn from you guys a little bit here and pick up more of how this stuff works. Let's see, use the post that came with the Scale Auto chassis to mount a Carrera body. Yeah, Clearwater, really what I need to do is I need to build the 3D piece, essentially, like the 3D piece with the screw hole in there. It's something I need to do, but I feel like then I've got to glue it onto the model. I would rather just learn how to make them, how to go into the model and literally kind of implant it into it as though, instead of gluing it. Just because I feel like, I mean, you guys see how I race? This is not quality stuff here. That's focus is just miserable. Yeah, Joe, I do have Fusion 360. I'm just not any good at it. It's one of those things that I kind of have focused on all these other things, and it's becoming more and more of a necessity. Like on this charger, just getting the spot to where we can get the guide in there. That's just a little bit of a challenge. Hey, Jamal. So yeah, I see Jamal came into the channel, and Jamal, I'm not sure if Jamal's laptop is still running. He and I spent the evening last night setting up his laptop with my Brit-triggered camera changing app. It was a little interesting because Windows 11 is not the same as Windows 10, and he has like 12 cameras, and kind of wants to do it a little bit differently, but we set it up, we figured some stuff out, and hopefully you'll be seeing some cool stuff from him. It's crazy. It's burnt me out. I hope I didn't burn you out there, bud. If you have questions, you can always give me a shout. And if it doesn't work for you, my feelings aren't hurt either. It's been a good exercise for me. Let's see, maybe start with Blender. Dave, have you gone on YouTube and looked at Blender in regards to using voice commands to do stuff in Blender? I'm just fascinated by some of that stuff. I'm not there yet though. Going back to the characters. So if you create one of those action figure characters in ChatGPT, if you do it in grayscale, my understanding is there's a way to convert it to an STL file. So in theory, I think you could probably come up with some new characters that you could generate through ChatGPT, convert to STL, and then print out for your layout. I don't know how easy any of that process would be, but that's something I'm going to probably take a look at doing at some point here. I know, in between doing all this car stuff. So let's see. Let me do another car. Something I learned. So this Plymouth here. I don't think I'm going to get another car like this. Or well, maybe, I don't know. Let me just say I'm not a fan of the nose. Because what I've found is that if I've got like this car as a ghost car, and I got this car coming up behind, I can just scoop that thing right off the track, which is fine if it's a friend, but otherwise, yeah, it seems to be more of a detriment. So let's see. Yeah, that's exactly, Joe. It is a ramp on wheels. It's kind of, and it's just, yeah, I mean, I like it, but I don't. All right, let's see if we can get a camera app up and running again. Let's see, how long has Joe been pressuring me to go live? He's been good. He's been good. Nobody's pressured me on this one. I've been wanting to do it, but it's kind of, well, it's definitely a challenge, or I guess intimidating for me to figure all that stuff out, and just to kind of sit here and talk to yourself essentially. But I'm not, because I know you guys. So, let's see. There we go. All right, there we are. We'll get that going there, and I'm gonna get rid of this race, change the car out. I'm interested to see how Patrick Langa has really been doing a lot with with fast laps, and he's got some cool things, kind of planned from everything I've heard from him. All right, let's see. All right, there's that. Let's see. All right. And I'm gonna say I think Jamal's screwing with me here. So all right, so let's get this guy on here and see if it works. Oh, I'm gonna have to code it first. I did this last time. I'm an amateur. An amateur. All right. Oh yeah. You can do it. All right. All right. There we go. I added. You can't really see it very well here, but the TV in the back. I set up wireless HDMI, or a wireless HDMI transmitter on it. Let's see. Oh, Clearwater, I like your videos. All right, let's see.
Listen up, racers. The following should be on the track and ready to go.
I would like the voices to be better here.
Racers, good luck and good racing.
All right. Oh, wait. No, that's not right. There we go. All right. Nope. Still not right. So I should have. Whoa. All right, well, that something new happened there. Please hold. I have not encountered that kind of failure yet or before. All right. Get that guy over there. Okay, let's try it again. And there we go.
Here's the starting lineup. Position 1 wheel. Racers, get ready to race and good luck.
This thing drives like a pig. I'll take it back. Okay, yeah, I've never crashed over here, I don't think. Just turning this around, or just driving this around the track, you can almost feel the weight. And do we have the program up? Okay. All right. There we go. All right, did you guys just see that? I don't know if you saw that. If not, I came in sideways, basically coming down the hill, and it was only because Boone's guide or guardrail is there that it kept me on the track. This car is so freaking big that that you can literally wedge up sideways. Anyway, it's not a feature, a bug. It's a feature. Jesus, it's a problem over here.
Bill's fuel is running low.
Good driving, racers. Our current leader is Bill. Bill has pulled into the pits.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, you guys didn't just see what happened there, but I don't. Okay.
Racers, 2 minutes 30 seconds are left in this race. We are halfway through.
Maybe we've got. I don't know what happened there. All right.
Attention racers, you have 2 minutes left in the race. 2 minutes. What a fine display of racing these drivers are putting on today.
Currently leading the race is Bill.
All right. You may have missed that, but I actually did. Yeah, watch the paint.
You have 1 minute 30 seconds left.
The I literally ended up I turned this car around backwards. It's not easy to do with that car. So what I would say here is that car, it's the loss of pixels at the bottom of the camshaft. Yeah, that's got to be OBS, and the only way I figured out how it's like a caching problem. I think. All right. Yep. Yep.
Currently leading the race is Bill.
Yep. All right. Let's just. We'll just call it good there.
Racers, this race has been stopped.
Yep. So the OBS, it seems like it drips, like a drip kind of thing, and I'm not 100% sure why. Yeah, it is. It's 30 frames per second. Crashed the fence, killed a colt in the barnyard, concussed a bull. Had to get up to the track on the track. Yeah, if I've got to get in the middle of this track, I'm in trouble. Yeah, so see, like. And the problem is, Joe, is the only way I've figured out how I can fix this is to reset. Let me see here. I'll just get back to here for a second. So this is basically what I would say in regards to this car, or that Plymouth there, is it drives like a pig, but it's so heavy that if you looked at, well, I have the scores off of it now apparently, but the actual times that it came in at were better than the other two. I'm assuming that just has to do with the weight kind of going around the corners or something. Maybe somebody can explain why that would be. Because, I mean, I guess I did roll the other ones probably about 15 times more. But anyway. Just some thoughts. I'm rambling. It's good to have or to see everybody here. It is a little unnatural for me to be on this, so forgive me. Let's see. Let's find something else. All right, and let me bring this guy up. Okay, we got the Ford Torino here. I'm going to put on. This thing, I beat the snot out of this car. This is probably my favorite car to race. And it's not even necessarily that it's a great car. It's, I mean, it does move pretty well. I've had pretty good luck with it overall. But it is beat to hell. I mean, yeah, Joe's saying watch the paint. I mean, Joe, what paint? What paint? Really? So, let's see, the crashes, those mags are magnified. When they go, they really go. Yeah, and that's kind of the challenge with a lot of these but it's just really getting an idea of how to even do this. Most of my racing, or I would venture to say that I've probably raced less than maybe 1,000 laps on this track. Maybe, I don't know, could be less, but yeah, I'm still relatively new to the actual racing portion. Let's see what we got here. What I do like, hang on, just coding. What I do really like, what's really made a big difference in terms of my enjoyment, Smart Race will tell you how many laps you got total. Yeah, and I have Smart Race on here as well. I just don't, I have Fast Laps set up or configured on it currently. I've been, talking with Patrick to some degree on this stuff, and, just kind of trying to test that stuff. What's been probably the most useful in terms of racing has been the wireless controller. This is one of those Frankenslots. And I'm sure there are much fancier. In fact, I know there are much fancier ones. Oh yeah, Joe, I can totally teach you. This is not the fanciest, but the fact that I don't have to put down the controller to going, self-marshal makes it a lot more enjoyable. So, all right, so let's get this guy, move over here, and yeah, Joe, it would be super easy to get you going on Fast Laps. I guarantee it. It's a super straightforward app. All right, there we go.
Position 1 Bill.
Sorry about
Let's have a good race.
yeah, that's becoming a problem. that drip or whatever it is. Yeah, and you can't look that way. You can't look at the screen while you're racing. You kind of have to do it in person. Jesus. I don't know what I'm hitting, but
Fast lap set on 5.133 seconds. We have a real hard burner here today, folks. Currently using 3 seconds.
And Bill takes the fast lap one more time of 5.038
All right.
seconds.
oh hell yeah! I don't think I've gotten that good of a score. Or race. Someone's been killed. Oh boy. All right. Oh, let's see. Oh boy. Hey!
Good driving, racers.
Yeah, how's that?
Opening up the track.
There's some context. So what just happened there, Dave? Yeah, stop loving that church. I pretty much did. I ended up driving that car right down into the church area, and I've got one of those sensors from from that software I've got. Jamal, if you're still watching, that's where if you put like a WAV file and you create a hotspot.
We are at the halfway mark.
Okay, yeah.
Racers, 2 minutes 30 seconds left in the race.
Here, let's see.
Race has been stopped.
Let's see. Fantastic. It's so hard to get. Oh, this is so expensive. Dave, I can always, if you ever need something, I can always send it your way. So, in terms of making a hotspot, let me see. So the area right, let me go and find the car actually. Yeah, nestled right under the tree. All right. Okay, that sound might be a little excessive there, but Jamal, that's your sensor. Yeah, seriously, Dave, happy to do it. In terms of the sensor, you can set up something off track if you know it's in an area where a car could possibly crash, and then assign a crash sound to it. All right, let's try this out here. Get this back on there. So, yeah, let's see. And I'm not sure if things are... OBS is certainly giving me some trouble. And I can't get the camera back on. I mean, I can, but not sure why. Anyway. All right. Got to figure out the 12 programs running at the same time. Yeah, so Jamal wants to run... So I'm running one version of this program that I wrote to change all the cameras. That's how you see all of those automatic camera changes. That's happening through that software, or it's being triggered through that software. It's pretty memory intensive, and well, as I told him last night, I said, I'm happy to sell you the fireworks, but if you blow up your own hand, it's essentially your own fault. I'm not sure how his laptop will be able to handle 12 programs running, but maybe it'll work. Maybe my code is better than I think. So anyway, that's about the excitement I've got. I don't have a lot really otherwise going on, just essentially working on the track. I wanted to kind of, I was happy because, speaking of Jamal, that's been one of the things he's been asking me for a while to help get that software set up. And it's pretty intimidating kind of getting, it's easy if I'm the lab rat, because I'm just, I'm just, I guess, poisoning myself if it's poison. But if I poison somebody else, then it's a problem. And so it was great just to be able to sit down, figure out some issues. I wouldn't say that code is really ready for prime time, but it's ready in specific instances. It could probably happen. So anyway, that was kind of cool. So as a result, I'm like, well, I did that on Friday. I should actually just enjoy my layout a little bit. And so that's essentially what I've done today. I still have some 3D printing to do. I have another version of the same chassis, or the same body, slightly shorter to fit the HRS2 chassis and to get the guide in there properly. Dave, you might, I don't know what layer height you use. The default for Cheeto box on my printer was 100 millimeters, and I guess the printer can do 0.03 millimeters, and so I'm trying 0.03 millimeters to see how good it looks, how good that body can look, and we'll kind of see how it is. But I have no idea what the normal layer height really is for other folks, but anyway, other than that, I think that's probably, oh yeah, it's about 8 o'clock. My wife's coming home soon she was out with a couple of her friends, and she's gonna wonder why I have not eaten dinner yet. So I think I'm gonna probably call it good and get some food in. Let's see, wrapped up and do anything. Yeah, and forget to enjoy our tracks. 100% Clearwater. I mean, I like to build this stuff. And then when it comes time, it's like over to the side here. I'll twist this. You've got this arcade cabinet. I built that about 10-ish years ago, and but I almost never play it. It's just fun to build, and so the slot car track I actually enjoy playing as well. So it's a little more, it's a little more fun. So anyhow, yeah, appreciate you guys all being here. I figured I'd just fire up the stream, and if somebody got on, it would give folks an opportunity to just kind of chat, between everybody. And but yeah, appreciate it, and hopefully we'll do this again soon. So anyhow, all right, Joe, are you here? If you are, let's see. Here we go. Ready? Guys, it's been great to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Be good to Joe. Is that good, Joe? All right. Anyway, I'm just kidding you guys. So anyhow, you guys have a good evening, and we will talk with you soon. Hey, Joe. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.